everyone, and welcome to my kitchen and today's Cheat Meal Monday.
Fanny's Diary, June 11th, 1942. Today I wasn't feeling very well.
And today's meal comes from the all-time favorite, Better Homes and Gardens, the Casserole Cookbook. My hubby loves casseroles, and today we are going to make ham and potato scalloped casserole. Many of you have asked me, how do I come up with my Cheat Meal Monday? Well, most of my Cheat Meal Mondays are filmed on a Sunday, and what I do is I go through my cupboards, I go through my refrigerator, I go through my cold storage, and I find the foods that we really need to use up. And today, we have to use up some potatoes. Come follow me in my pantry and I'll show you my potatoes. So we're in my cold storage pantry. This is the pantry, that's the out porch that is not heated. And this is where I keep all of my root crops and my baskets and all of those items, which you've seen in other videos. But today's Cheat Meal Monday consists of potatoes. And so we need to go through these potatoes because they need to get used up. Some of them I will replant because of the sprouts. But let's go through these potatoes and let's get the ingredients for our Cheat Meal Monday. So what we're going to do is I'm going to peel these potatoes and I'm going to slice them thinly. And then I'll get back to you and we'll start on our casserole. Today is a double video because we are also going to make homemade old-fashioned blueberry muffins. So we got everything assembled. We have all of our ingredients ready to go. So let's get started and let's tilt the camera down so you can see in a really close-up shot of what we are working on. The recipe says to place half the ham in a 2-quart casserole and cover it with half the potatoes. So we're going to go ahead and take half of the potatoes. Now when you're working with potatoes, you always want to have them in cold water because potatoes will brown fast. So I always keep my potatoes in cold water until we're right ready to use them. I also did spray my 2-quart casserole dish with some spray. The ham I got for $1 a steak. It was 2 ham steaks. Now for those of you who do not eat ham, you can go ahead and make this without ham. You can make scalloped potatoes without the ham. So we're going to just continue to layer it. It actually called for 8 medium potatoes. Now I didn't count, I just went by what I thought would be enough. And this will be a full casserole. I'm hoping I can get every single piece in here. A couple more yet, and then we're ready to go. Our potatoes, and here is our ham. To that, we are going to get 2 cups of milk, 1 tablespoon of butter that's melted. We're going to add slowly the melted butter into the milk. To that, we're going to have 1/3 cup of flour. And want to whisk this really good so we don't get lumps. Now some people would add cheese to this. I'm not going to add any cheese to it. We're going to go ahead and pour the milk, butter, and flour on top. Now for added flavor, I did brown the butter until the butter had a brown color to it. Alright, then the last thing it calls for is 1 tablespoon of butter into 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. And that's what we're going to put on top. It's 1 tablespoon of butter to 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this over the top. And breadcrumbs is what makes things really, really good. Yummy. All right, so there you go, everyone. There is 1977 casserole. And it is, once again, ham and potato scallop. 2 cups of fully cooked ham, sliced and cubed. 6 to 8 medium potatoes, peeled and thinly sliced. 1/3 cup of flour. 2 cups of milk, 3 tablespoons of dry breadcrumbs, and 1 tablespoon of butter, just like we did. And this is a recipe. Now I call this a very traditional Mennonite meal because Mennonites often had potatoes in their meals. This is a very German meal. They have a lot of potatoes in their meals and they're always very frugal. Here's the casserole. Let's put it in the oven. We are to put it in the oven at 1 1/4 hours at 325. So 325 for 1 1/4 hours. So while this bakes, let's get making our muffins. We're going to make muffins. Now this is another very old-fashioned recipe, and it's a nice recipe because you can stir it all in one bowl. Today, this recipe comes from Tractor Supply's free magazine. If you do not go to a Tractor Supply, you can go on their website and you can download their magazine for free. This is the summer of 2018. It just came out. And today it's called Blue Ribbon Blueberry Muffins. What we'll start is, I'll read you the recipe. It is very simple. 2 eggs, 1 cup of milk, 1/2 cup of oil, 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 5 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 cup of blueberries. Add our 2 eggs. With the 2 eggs, we're going to add 1 cup of milk. One-half cup of oil. We're going to mix this all together and break up the eggs. To that, we're going to add 3 cups of flour. I use just unbleached white flour. And keep mixing it as we add the ingredients. This is so simple, and it just speaks of very old-fashioned cooking. It is all ingredients that you would have in your pantry. Then we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. I have a 1/3 cup, so I'm doing it 3 times, in case you were wondering. Okay, we're going to keep stirring it very well. Now, if you want, you can use a mixer if you'd like, but I don't see the need for it. And it's going to be 5 teaspoons of baking powder, and I always make sure that it's baking powder and not baking soda. Now it says it makes 6 jumbo or 12 smaller. So I'm going with the smaller ingredients are in except for the blueberries. So you want to make sure that you really mix it up well. And then I had a friend many months ago gave me a bunch of these muffin tins, so we're going to use these. Also, I'm going to use some papers that I had that were given to me a long time ago. Now, you don't have to use the muffin papers. You can just make the muffins without the papers. So it's whatever you would like to do. But since I have them, I'm going to use them. 1 cup of blueberries. I got the blueberries at the Dollar Tree for $1. And the back of it has some beautiful scripture on it. So I thought that was really unique. I was very pleased to see that. And I thought that was just a nice added treat to these blueberries. Now these blueberries are very little. So they're like the tiny blueberries. But that's okay for muffins. In fact, I like the smaller blueberries for muffins. So it calls for 1 cup. So there we have the blueberries. Now we're going to gently fold the blueberries in. You don't want to smush them up. You tell me that does not look delicious? Alright, so let's go ahead and put these into a nice measuring cup, and then we can fill up our cupcakes. It's a fairly thick batter. And it seems to me that it's going to give me more than what it said. It said 6 jumbo, and I was thinking 12 of the regular, but it's going to give me more than 12. This was actually a pretty nice size batter. This is what the muffins look like. Yummy, yummy. They baked really nice. I'm very impressed with them. I'm going to give them a taste when our casserole is finished. But we're going to put them in this beautiful basket. Wouldn't this be a lovely gift to a friend? It made a lot of them. So one recipe definitely will give you very many small cupcakes. Isn't that so pretty? We still have 6 more to go. I don't know where they're all going to fit. Some of these really big ones maybe I'll keep out.
Well, everyone, here is
Isn't
our meal.
that beautiful, my friends? Potatoes with some ham.
Here in just a few minutes.
Beautiful blueberry muffins, which I ate 3 of them already. So let's dish up our plate and let's see what I think about it. First thing that brings to my memory is a meal like this is a home-cooked meal made by my mother. It is really, really good. It's rich in flavor and it's extremely frugal. I give this a thumbs up, and I will be making this a whole bunch more. The wonderful thing about old cookbooks are the ingredients are easily available to anyone. They're frugal, and it's just plain down great home cooking. You have got to give it a try. And if you don't like ham, make it without the ham. Here is our blueberry muffins. They baked perfect. You tear them apart, it's beautiful texture. It's just so good. One thing about this recipe is these blueberry muffins are not overly sweet. So you do not have the sweetness like you do in some. It's just really good blueberry taste. This was a really good recipe, a really fun video to make, and I hope you give it a try. Take care everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.